Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. I'm your host today, Rita. This is a Ritalee Solo edition. Now, I've slept a few hours, and I want to say on video, I'm not going to flood up my channel, that this topic is about love and friendship. Love and friendship is very hard. A lot of people have the love, but they don't want the friendship. Or vice versa. And then you get the people out there in the world that try to turn it around on others, saying this or that or the other. Sometimes we get hurt for different things. Let me tell you, this video is very important. You see, I'm about this close, just like Aaron, to shut down my Facebook account permanently. So I have my morning coffee here, and I'm going to talk. You see, I'm getting tired. Tired of what the world offers when it comes to BS. To the point that I'm watching videos, enjoying my life. Me and Aaron have been talking about many issues of today. Whether it be problems with our friends that are having trouble with us, to simple problems. We don't like problems. When a problem comes up, we try to fix it, but sometimes there's no rectifying a problem or repairing it. The reason I'm here is before I take a shower, I was trying to go over my list to see what videos I had to watch today, because I want to get this videos done as soon as possible. Then I can be happy and move on to the next thing. So, let me talk to you guys about it. I love you all, every one of you. God says love. Yet, even people like me that love everyone has a breaking point. That's where friendship comes in. You have a breaking point before the little match head snaps off, and then that's it. Everything just snaps. How am I saying it this morning? Well, besides watching the movie Breaking Point, I think it was, or Breaking Away, I realized that a person has a breaking point. Whether it be me, whether it be Aaron, whether it be the neighbor, we all have a breaking point. Friends shouldn't make others break. Now, I was talking to a young lady about hooking him up, maybe doing well, I offer my services as a minister to do the wedding for her and her boyfriend, or if she's coming to Washington. I was hoping to hook her up with Aaron, but thing is I'm tired. I'm tired, and I'm just very tired. Mentally on that problem. Me and Aaron has spoke about many issues, and many issues can't be fixed. That's the thing. We're too blatantly honest, and we know what can and can't be done. Like Aaron said in one of the videos here on our channel, long distance marriage can't work, because then there could be somewhat called long distance divorce too, because it's auto granted after a certain amount of time. I got my own goals in life. And I'm starting to think those goals are more important than chasing after women. Women might say, and this is part of friendship and relationships and love, that they love you, they care for you. Most of them that fall in that category, they love, yes, they also want money, security, looks. I don't have either of it. A lot of people that I've talked to in this day and age, they say the same thing. The only way I express myself is on YouTube. Aaron knows it's hard for me to express myself in public. So when I try to get the balls to speak to a girl, to try to hook him up with, say, someone for Aaron, all I get in is a long reply about this, this, and this. We all make mistakes in life, yes. That's the other thing. Friendship, it's good. True friends will blatantly tell you what's wrong. Now, I like making new friends around the world. I've sent out plenty of Christmas cards this year from various places. I like foreign friends. But the bottom line is, when it comes to friendship, true friends, they'll stick together no matter what. I have a friend who's severely disabled. She likes to live her life in a video game. I live my life in a video game when I want. I live my life in books, music, movies. Those are my happinesses. Same with making videos. So, trying new things, like last night, early this morning, I tried some new beer. Kicked my butt. It was like a strong, strong beer from Germany. Well, it was brewed in America, but it came for German hops. But it was very good. But the bottom line is, I just gave up on many things. Try to line things up. It always fails. You try saying, oh, well, let's do this and that. It always fails. You know what? The day I was talking to you, the audience, on our channel with Aaron Present, we were talking about long-distance marriages, etc. And I brought up Annie. Annie's a good friend of mine. Annie is a very good friend of mine. So much I used to exchange mails with her, like in a pen pal. She never answered via email. She never could access email, but we always wrote back and forth via snail mail, letters. She's a friend of mine, very close. Very close. Me and Aaron try to help out when we can, Annie. Aaron might not like her in many ways. He's still a minister. We try to help everyone we can. Sometimes it doesn't work. Annie's and I's relationship, we are the type that we stick together by a bond of love and friendship. Love and friendship. She asks for advice at times. I give it. Her cousins all message me asking for advice. I give it. Her sisters. That is the type of friendship that you build a bond to. Whereas you try building a bond with someone else and it's wrong. And I tried doing my best in life. I really did. But you know what? Sorry to say. Me and Aaron, we're very honest ministers. We speak the truth, and we are very upset when things get directed, misguided. Our words get turned around, etc. Yes, I was angry one night and I made some videos. Aaron and I sat down to talk about it. That's what friends do. Instead of going and blowing your top on YouTube, you sit down and you talk about things. I'm getting to the point in my life that there's not many things in this world that I'm close to. I thought I was close to several people, but I'm not. The only one I'm close to is Aaron. Aaron's my friend. So much I'll stand by him too. I'll stand by his words, even though sometimes I think they're wrong. I won't deny, because he's the thinker. He's one of those that mostly thinks before he acts. Me, sometimes I act before I think. And I always, somehow, get in trouble in many things. I love a lot of people in my heart, but I know deep down I can't have them. For example, each thing you take into with logic. Some can call it pretzel logic, but I don't use pretzel logic. I use logic. I think of things. Other day, Aaron was complaining about something. We both sat down, we used logic. Sometimes I get a little off kilter by worrying about things. That's why I got all this white hair, or gray hair. But you know what? It's panic. Because of certain things. You've been hurt too many times. Your heart hardens or tries to do a defense mechanism. Then it worries, and you get gray hair. Last night, Aaron and I were talking. Usually I'm the one that sits there and tries to hold on to something, and say, this has to be done this way, and this way, and this way, and this way, and this way, Instead, I just said, let's see how well it plays out. Don't worry, don't get your, as some would say, panties in a wad. Well, deep down, he looked at me and I says, I'm not arguing. And I can argue with it because there's no way I can win. He looked at me and he said, wise choice. Because I said, this isn't my fight. It was his. And today he's going to be doing 2 videos. One on friendship and stuff, and another one on his personal issues. This is what he was talking to me about. But I wanted to get my friendship solo video in this morning. Then I'm going to try to knock out some of these lists on here. Aaron made the list. I'm supposed to watch the videos and see if the games are any good. The list is on page 6 of 8. Well, there's 7.5 pages. 8's only half a page. So, the bottom line is, we all have our goals. I'm not going to pursue when I know the outcome's going to be the same? How can you pursue something when you have someone telling you you must pursue or it won't work? And you got logic that says it won't work because, just like me and Aaron, we're apartment dwelling hermits. A person, they want to stay in, they want to be a hermit, so be it. This is the year that I'm going to be more decisive, making more actions, and frankly, as Aaron will stand by my actions, I'm not going to give a damn. I'm through playing Miss Nice. Because frankly, it doesn't get anywhere. In some aspects, being a minister, I will be stinking open. Open to the point I don't give a damn. Aaron doesn't either. He doesn't care, one way or another. I've stopped using Skype. I've stopped using Yahoo Messenger. I only check my emails. I get on my computer only to answer email and to message. Unless I have an email already going out, then I try to use my iPad for it. Yeah. The bottom line is simple. Excuse me if you guys heard that. That was my stomach. I had to release some gas. But anyways, the bottom line is for you all to know is you need to know the true definition of friendship. Yes, I'm one of these blatant, blunt people, but I'm getting to the point in my life where I'm not giving a damn. You know? Yes. I know. Me and Aaron, he brought over movies I haven't even seen. He says, oh, here's the movies you've not seen. That's in the collection of videos that he's got. Then we talked about animes. I said, it's my turn. I want to get some animes. He said, okay. So we got the TV for it. We got to prepare for fishing season coming up. We're preparing for it. Our bond. And you know what? Someone like him, he makes good cooking. I always look after him, and I tell him, you know, if you're ill, go to the hospital. If you can't, well, we'll figure out what to do. We were talking about glasses. He basically put his foot down. He says, you're getting new glasses next month. This is going to not hold much longer. But, you know. I said, why? And he said, because. I told him in March we have to get his eye exam. He said, deal. Things are going to be getting better and better for me. And frankly, like I said, friendship is knowing you can stand around and do stuff. For example, I was talking to Aaron about something. I think it was this one. No. This one it was. I was trying to find something, but I crumpled it up. It upset me so much that I had to, you know. So, but yes, right here, for example, Aaron and I were looking over some fly rods so we can get better at fly fishing. And I love fishing. It's a good hobby. I'd rather be fishing than dealing with these problems in the wintertime. But the way I cope is I'm sitting here watching movies and getting things done. The other day I asked Aaron for something. He said he's on it. That's friendship is about. And how Aaron and I, we want to go to Disneyland. That's our goal. One of our goals. We want to go to Grand Tetons, Yellowstone. That's our goal. We want to go to Whitefish, Montana, and to Glacier National Park. That's a goal. Cedar Point. That's a goal. Mutton Fest in Owensboro, Kentucky. That's a goal. Those are things that friendship can make. You know what? Aaron sat there and he realized there's no one for him out there in this world. Why? He's 36. He's an overweight smoker. He's got a beard. But you know what? I realized as his best friend, God maybe intended that. God might have intended for some people to be miserable so they can figure out their life. God could intend that some people shouldn't have children and be a bedroom-dwelling hermit playing video games, for example. Since I'm being blatantly and blunt about it. The bottom line is simple. Friendship has to go two ways. The only friendship I have is Aaron. Everyone else, they're acquaintances, except for several, like neighbors downstairs that we went to lunch or we go shopping with, but otherwise, they're all acquaintances. And acquaintances, they never stay around. They just up and vanish like a fart in the wind one day. So, when people say to me, oh well, it's my fault for this problem or that problem, maybe, but you know what? Might be as much as my fault as the next person's fault. But the other person on the friendship spectrum, it's as much as fault as theirs. Why? I'll tell you why. Blatantly and bluntly. Friendship is about going 50-50, meeting halfway. If you don't meet halfway, in the middle, then it doesn't count. You see, now if a person wants to give 100%, then that's fine too. But some people, they can't comprehend friends. They don't want friends. Look at Aaron's dad. He's a house-dwelling bookworm that reads novels, watches TV, gets high as a kite on pot, and doesn't give a damn. And then says something like he never wanted a child to Aaron's face. How's that hurt Aaron, Then he wants Aaron out of his house, and well, eventually, 8-9 years ago, me and my mother took him in. He's been there for me ever since. Aaron knows my inner secrets. Why? Because that's the bond that me and Aaron has developed over 9 years. My sister wanted him gone. My sister wanted him in prison. Other people around town think he's an abuser of the system. Social Security money for this, and using that for his dog. Oh, he needs a service dog. Oh, he's abused it to get a service dog. No, he hasn't. There's not many people in the entire world that knows a lot about me secretly. There's only 2. I'm very protective on Facebook. That's why I use different profile pictures. For example, the other day, my aunt sent me a picture tagging me in it when I was a little boy. I'm a girl now. But as a little boy, my voice might be male, but I don't give a damn about what the viewer thinks. That's the thing that Aaron knows that I'm very well spoke of. You see, I'm myself, and I don't give a damn. You see, being transgendered, it might be hard. But at least I know I will always have Aaron to look after me and protect me if I need to. And I do the same to him. Every girl I've met, they want strings attached. That's another reason why I'm doing this. Or friendships got strings attached. Friendship, there's no strings attached. It's unconditional love, like a dog, or a cat, or a pig, or a cow. I don't have many friends. I have a lot of acquaintances. Someone asked me about something a while ago. About relationships. It's another reason why I'm up early. It goes like this. What happened to my relationship? Well, let me get some coffee and I'll explain. Okay, so I got my second cup of coffee. Now I'll explain. Aaron might speak his mind and be frank about a lot of things. So do I. And that's one thing that we have that's deep down. But when it comes to relationships, someone asked me. See, before I met a certain girl that I'm going to keep the name out of, I had a lot of girls I was trying to court beforehand. They all left. One reason or another. Whether it be me, I asked them stupid questions and they turned out to be scammers asking me for money, to wanting downright blatantly an American guy so they can get into the country. Then I met them on a dating site. What happened? Simple. I started courting them or engaged and etc. But guess what? They disappeared 6 months at a time. So, blatantly and honestly, I started asking advice to Aaron. After a while, they'd surface. But by that time, my heart becomes somewhat ice when it comes to the situation. I figured they'll just dive again like a submarine, surface another 6 months. True. That's what happened. After a while, when I started fishing last year, I got the feel of fishing and enjoying it. And you know what? I learned it's a great sport. It's not about competition like my buddy and his grandson who's got to have the most fish and catch the most in X amount of time and the biggest. It's not sitting there, fly, or your rod, throwing it out there and reeling it in and sitting there watching the water and seeing the fish and see if they take the bait. Whereas the rest, sitting there in the sun, your special hat, and you're just sitting there and you're having Aaron next to you, and Aaron says, "So, you catching anything?" "No." Pulling out a little thing out of your fishing vest and you're opening it and saying, "Yeah, what do I do about this?" And he says, "Let it go. It's not worth the heartache. And if they do come back, just be friends with them." Well, truthfully, I was told, "Oh, well, this person here is jealous because of jealousy." No, that's not jealousy. That's a damn excuse. The truth of the matter is, they're a bedroom-dwelling hermit that wants to play video games all the time. That's the truth. The truth hurts. There's an old saying, in the movie Zerophilia. The guy's sitting there and he can shapeshift. And, the only way they can shapeshift is by having sex, But before then, he gets turned on by a girl. He starts to change. And then this boy turns into a girl. And the doctor, who was a boy who wants to go back to being a boy, has to con him into getting them to lock in. But when they have intimacy, the genders lock. So unless he finds another of the species, zeros, they're stuck in that female form. Well, he meets up with someone that has it. But before then, the doctor said, once you know the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. Well, that's completely true. You see, they're going to be an apartment dwelling video game hermit eventually. Right now, they're being a bedroom dwelling hermit playing video games. And I'm sorry to say, but I do care for the girl immensely, but there's nothing I can do. Even Aaron said it wouldn't work. I realized this too. I thought I could try to hook him up with the girl's sister. It didn't work. I even offered to do the girl's sister as if she's sincere with this guy in my state. I'm willing to do the wedding. But guess what? Asked about what happened? Well, there you go. There's one person in the entire world that you can't crack. There's yes, they have disabilities. They surface and they disappear. They surface and they disappear. As Aaron says, it gets too hot in the kitchen, they bail. Well, truth will set you free, but first, not before it pisses you off. Well, that's how I see it. So, the bottom line, before I wrap this up, is friendship has to go both ways. And you know what? I stopped talking on Skype because I don't want it to go any further because my heart's broken. That's what it is. It's broken. And frankly, I'm tired. Tired like an old worn out shoe. And before you can make others happy, you must first make yourself happy. I've learned this. I've also learned sometimes words are better coming from me on this YouTube channel than I don't have any worries. Yeah. So, the bottom line is simple. Friendship is two ways. You can love a person all your life. But remember, when someone says, oh, well, it's my fault for this, or it's jealousy. No. Might be jealousy, but guess what? Why don't you look on the other shoe? I explained a long time ago that if when I decided to go on a dating site again, and Aaron knows this, it's because they surface, then they disappear, then they surface, then they want something like traveling the world, for example, and I mean, a goal is how I mean it, not want something, but a goal, it doesn't get fulfilled. It literally does not get fulfilled. They want to be an apartment dwelling or basement dwelling or bedroom dwelling hermit, so be it. We need life experiences. We can't just sit inside all the time. We need those experiences to advance. And advancing in this world is a must. Aaron and I talked about that last night. We want to take mini vacations this year. You know what? I opted for it. I thought it's about damn time we do. I have friends that's willing to help us. So, well, we'll keep an eye on your dog while you're out for these mini vacations. You know what? Those are the best things in the world for my friends. Not my acquaintances, my true friends. True friends you can count on. My mom said true friends are probably the first 10 fingers, and maybe if you're lucky, your toes. Everyone else is acquaintances. Sorry to say, but Mama was damn right. Yes, I consider these two girls friends, but I'm also being blatantly blunt by saying, because one of the girls wants me to be blatantly blunt. I wanted her to hook up with Aaron. Didn't work out. Well, all I can say is the best luck for her. All the advice I've given, it's all I can give. I'm going to stay in touch with her as a friend, but I'm not pursuing her for Aaron's sake. I'm not pursuing her sister. Frankly, I'm burned out. I'm an old worn shoe that has goals in life that's got to be met. And frankly, those are goals are more important than waiting for someone, as Aaron would say, to come around. They're not going to come around. As Aaron said, they're going to be old and prune-ish and still living with family. Or they'll be living alone. If Aaron ever dies, I'll be alone. Guess what? At least I'll have the experience needed. Needed, mind you, to keep going. Because the love that me and Aaron produce as family far outweighs 100 women. Yes, I may be a girl myself. Deep down, Aaron, he knows many things. What makes me tick, what makes me angry, what makes me happy. I know the same with him. So, friendship and love. Friendship and love is something that needs to be bonded in this world. But I realized Aaron was right. Certain things in this world can't be helped. Certain things in this world can't be done. The bottom line is simple. As one of the videos me and Aaron did, live your life to the fullest. Try not having regrets. Tell you, the only regret I have is wasting so much damn time trying to find my soulmate when maybe God doesn't want me to have a soulmate. Maybe God wants me to live my life as pure as possible. Because, as the Bible speaks in Timothy 2, 3:1 through 3:7, there's a lot of unclean people out there in the world. Perverted, liars, headstrong, greedy. Those are the signs of the last days. So frankly, Timothy 2, 3:1 through 3:7 speaks to me. So, with that said, remember, friendship is not just a bond between two people, but if it's strong, that bond should never break. It's like my friendship with Annie. A lot of people don't know this, but Annie sometimes asks for help. I try to help, whether it be advice or such and such, because deep down I care. I've known Annie for over almost 4 years, and I would never, ever, ever give up my friendship. I have friendship anniversaries for my true friends. They all laugh at me, but you know what? That's what makes me special. Some I can't remember, like my friend, who on the dating site, that became a apartment-dwelling video game hermit. But you know what? I still love her deeply because that's what makes her herself. When she does come out of her shell, maybe she'll get the experiences she needs. Find happiness. I've already given all the advice I can to her sister. There's nothing more I can do as a friend. But just sit back and watch the ride. As far as me and Aaron, we're going to make our next move in our phase in our friendship and life. Yeah. Which brings me to another thing about friendship. True friendship doesn't tear people down and builds them up. True friendship embraces their disabilities, embraces their problems, accepts their words, except if they know it's a blatant lie. Then you need to tell it outright that it's a lie. But here we go. Aaron's friend, the one I didn't want to argue with him yesterday, basically called me a flaming retard. Called me a useless piece of crap. Aaron's this close to making a decision today on what to do, whether he removes himself as a friend permanently or tries to fix things. But I told Aaron he's never going to change. Aaron wrote me a letter one time, and this is what it said pretty much. It said, "Both you idiots, I'm about to blow you both off, including myself. If you don't change and work with me on times so I can talk to my friend on the phone and I can hang out with Rita, who's like a wife to me." I turned around one day sitting on the toilet and I said, "Aaron?" He said, "Yeah," because he always looks the other direction. I leave the door open. It's just me and him. And, he looks this way, like, where the toilet's here. I'm sitting here. He'll hang like this. Anyways, he says, "Yeah." I said, "Aaron, why don't you do it in the morning between 11 and 2 while I'm sleeping? Good idea. Or do it like 7 to 10 and I come over and watch movies." No problem. He tried working out. His friend, "I don't get up till noon and then I don't want to answer till at least 3. Screws up things. So me and Aaron worked something out. Yesterday is the only day I felt bad in my heart for calling his friend a jack off and a jerk off. But Aaron said he is. And I said a-hole. Not the exact word, but I just used a-hole. Not the actual golden rule. The actual word. He said he is. But you know what? I can't be the judge of that. Deep down, I expressed my concern for Aaron's friend. I said, he ain't changed. Aaron always expresses that to me. Close as he is with me and the bond. He said that to me a while ago. He says, "Do you have a strong bond with this Filipino? No. Or that Filipino? No." He said, first I said I had a strong feeling for one of the girls, the one I was talking about here in the States. The one from the dating site, because I don't want to give names. Eventually, that crumbled. Surfaces, then dives like a submarine. Surfaces, then dives. Eventually, Aaron says, their friendship, they're unreliable, is what he said. So he said, get used to it. Then he started saying, well, a lot of stuff is BS on certain issues. And, well, he's just direct about things. That's what friendship is. You're completely direct. You give advice, they take it or they leave it. It's like Aaron's friend basically said in the blastogram to Aaron, that Aaron runs for everything. Runs from crack, runs from coke, runs from pot, runs from his dad. If he knew the story from his dad's point of view, he would change and sing it a different tune. I know what the truth of the matter is with his dad. But I won't say it. It's not my place. His dad has a lot of problems, mental problems. His dad doesn't want to blame anyone but everyone else for his problem. Like his dog. His dog turned vicious and he blames me for it. No, I never struck his dog once. His dog attacked and destroyed plenty of my shoes. Destroyed my pantyhose when I was there. And then he says, oh, it's the dog stole man. But never once did I lay a finger on his dog. Certain things happened. After we left in 2010, his TV went out. His TV. He blames us for it. He had to go buy bigger and better plasma or whatever. That one just went out recently. Why? When he's at home, he spends 8+ hours a day on it. He's got a keyboard. He sits there with his little keyboard connected to his TV, and he goes right there on his thing. Why? Because he's getting to the point where he doesn't want to go in his offices and use his office computer. So the bottom line is friendship, there's a lot to know. Secrets, skeletons in the closet, dark secrets, etc. Those friends can keep those secrets. Then they're friends for life. And Aaron, his friend basically isn't a friend when they lamb-baste him, barbecue him, shish kebab him, do everything else, tear him down. He doesn't deserve it. Matter of fact, sometimes, truthfully, like this yesterday morning, I got out of bed. Coffee's not even brewing. I had to get out of bed. He got me up. How? Moppy hopped on the bed, looked at me, did Mr. Squiggles Wiggles, is what he calls it, Mr. Wiggle Wiggles. Squiggly Wigglies. Hops up there, does his little dance and everything, gets me up. Finally, I'm coiled up in a blanket. Finally, yeah, got up, hit the coffee pot, had to wait. While I was waiting for the coffee pot, no, I wasn't drinking, I hear him, well, anyways, let me tell you about this anime and that anime and this anime, and you're trying to translate everything. It's like anime this, anime that, and then he finally changes and he goes, anyways, what'd you think? I'm sitting there. It's too early. 5 hours of sleep and I gotta listen to anime. Oh, well, you know. And so finally, I got up, I washed up, went to the post office, found out a book was in. He's like, oh yeah, put it in your backpack. It was raining. So we put it in the backpack, went home. You know what? He didn't once say, oh, well, you know, when we opened it and he was happy, it was the second in my book series. The second one. Me, I was more worried about the condition of the book, but you know what? He turned around and said, don't worry. I have faith in this book company. Condition was great. No damaged pages, nothing. For 1 cent, wow. I'm kind of picky in that way. I want my books to be mint condition. Anyways, what was I saying when it comes to it? Friendship. Point is his friend turns him down. Yes, sometimes I get angry, but you know what? I deserve my tongue lashing from Aaron after he demanded I delete those videos, and I did. But this isn't about Aaron. This is about friendship. This is about love. His friend that's in California that puts him down doesn't even have love for him. If he does, he's a closeted homosexual that wants Aaron. Plays Black Ops, complains about this and that, says he eats all organic beef, and says that we're eating crap, and then tries to put us down. Says Aaron isn't a cook. You know what? If he ever shows up, which I hope he never does, because I'm afraid for this guy, the guy's threatening to hurt me. But I put my money where my mouth is when it comes to Aaron and Aaron's cooking. Yes, Aaron's got goals, but goals takes money. And if you fuse the money into the goals get done. You gotta support someone. I support Aaron when it comes to mentally. Mr. Thinker. He's got a good heart. He's always looking after me. He always comforts and calms me. Like last night. He was more impressed at me basically looking at him and saying, I don't want to argue. I can't win. This is a fight between you and your friend. And then I asked him to change the channel or subject. Some days I sit there and I rant and rave about fly fishing. He just sits there and says, oh yeah, okay, well we need this. I've asked him to make out a list. He's good at making lists of what we need to purchase. I make lists on games and stuff, but you know what? My list is getting smaller and smaller. For example, for animes, I looked at Aaron, and Aaron says, "You want every English anime." You know what? He went into the computer database and says harem style and gender swapping ones. Here we go. These are these ones. You can buy them, no problem. Mangas. Oh, these are the mangas. Print them out. Here you go. You know what? He's a great guy. Very great. So, comes to friendship. People need to stick together with their friends. If they don't, and they want to say stuff like, "Oh, well, it's your fault this happened or that happened or jealousy or this or that." You know what? The truth of the matter is, why don't you wake up and smell what you're shoveling once in a while, because frankly, I'll be blunt. Aaron's damn right. People that don't want experience, don't want to live in the basement or apartment dwelling hermits or bedrooms. There's another thing coming. Why do we know this? Experience. Before Aaron came out, he was an apartment dwelling, not apartment dwelling, sorry, a basement dwelling hermit. He only came up, take showers, and eat. Otherwise, he stayed out of sight of his dad. His dad finally knew he had an opportunity to come out here after he talked to my mother. After I said, "Let me bring him out," and he said, "Is that okay with your mother?" You know what? My mom said Aaron was the best thing in my life. Yeah. You know how I am? I'll tell you how I am. This girl, the one that played video games all the time, and wants to live through the video games. Yeah, as her sister says. When I got my Nintendo Entertainment System in 1985, before then we had arcades, pinballs, and arcades like Donkey Kong, Mario, etc., Play Choice 10, etc. Yeah. You know what? We still had a huge, nice arcade after we got the home console system. And when consoles started coming out, we got them all. And guess what? RPGs and first-person shooters is what I played. I never went out at all. Only went out to get video games. My mom, she didn't want me having sexual relations with girls at a young age. She's like, "Here's a game. $90 for the Super NES for games." I pop it in. I got into a few fighting games, but it wasn't my cup of tea. My mom knew I wanted long games. My mom knew what I liked. Christmas time and the old stocking stuffers from Santa. RPGs. Game Boy systems. Portable systems. I'd play certain games, and I'd say it's watered down or it sucked, but I beat it anyways for Game Gear, etc. My mom didn't want me having sexual relations. My mom knew I was transgender and she wanted to protect me also. But you know what? Here's how I know on the experience, okay? Before you can tell me, and I know a certain somebody's watching this, if you got this far, it's simple. My experience is different from Aaron's. I am an apartment dwelling hermit now, pretty much. But me and Aaron, we go out all the time. We have to walk the dogs. They gotta go poop. They gotta go piss. We gotta pay the rent. We go to the neighbor, and she's like, "Oh, we're going shopping this day," or "We're going this day." We ask her, "Hey, can we swing by the fly shop?" No problem. Can we hit up this place? No problem. We're going to this town? No problem. Hey, experience us. Can we go over to this place? I want to give some Twinkies and cupcakes to my Uncle Donnie, who's in an assisted living place. No problem. Nursing home. Me and Aaron talked about mini vacations. No problem. Those are experiences. We're finally wanting to come out of our shell more. And you know what? I'm proud of him. And how does it compete to back then? Simple. I'll tell you. When I lived with my mom in our mobile home, in a mobile home park, the park was huge. We could walk all over it. We used to walk this place. We'd go down to Maltby. We'd go down to Adventure all the way to downtown Woodinville back, 10 plus miles walking. We were fit as a fiddle. We walked everywhere. We have experiences like no others. We have experiences where a guy wanted to hurt us. Another one, breaking and entering, stuff like that, of, people attacking us. or we had a breaking and entering in our own home in Woodinville. Stuff like that. And guess what? Me and Aaron got stronger from it as friends. We both have experiences. When we moved in 1993 into our mobile home, and I stayed with my mother till 1999 when I went to Australia, I didn't want to do much but play video games. My stepfather, before 1993, would contact me and say, we're going to Whidbey Island. Yeah, Whidbey Island by ferry. I'd help my buddy out from like 2002 to 2005 before Aaron came out. 3 years I'd take the ferry over to Bainbridge or Camano Island and stuff like that, wherever he was. It was fun. See, my mom told me I need to get out, and this buddy of mine, he was just like, oh, well, you know, you're waiting for disability, you know, but he always wanted me to go, like, mow his lawn and stuff, so what the heck. Whenever I helped him out. But you know what? That was before I was a minister, before I met Aaron. I was a bedroom-dwelling hermit. My sister is just like my friend, the bedroom-dwelling hermit sister. Reminds me of her in many ways. Why? I'll tell you why. My sister would sit up there and look at me. A few times my sister wanted to box my ears in, but you know what? She'd come into my room, storm in there, and she'd look over me if I'm sleeping. I'd wake up and I'd be like, what? She'd be like, we're going camping, get your butt in gear. I didn't want to go. Next thing you know, I'm walking down the trail with my nephew, carrying a large knife like this, you know, a Rambo knife. Me and him are shooting the crap. Fishing poles, no problem. My sister, and sometimes she'd get drunk. My mom would come along and others would come along. Guess what? We had a blast. Then my mom wanted to do it next week, and finally we had a little tradition, you know. My nephew would be like, what are we cooking? Well, what's my sister cooking? Oh, she's making beans and hot dogs. Well, I got this sausage rope here. I'm caramelizing it. I'll slap on a little beans from my side here. We'll have beans and sausage rope. They can have beans and hot dogs. I mean, those were experiences I would never accepted with my sister, and then just open the door, drag me out. Now, those are some advice I can give her, but I'm not going to. Why? Because her sister's got a mind of her own, and her sister made a post on Facebook. I'm glad I'm in America where I can do what I want, yeah? But guess what? You can't do whatever you want because there's over 40 million laws in this country, and maybe whatever you want to do might violate one of them. That's the way I see things, too, in my own eyes. We're not free. We're being suppressed by laws over and over and over. So, before I log off, I just wanted to say, those are some of the experiences I had. My sister had to drag me out to go fishing, to go camping, to do other fun things like go to the movie theater, etc., go clothes shopping. I was a shut-in. I didn't want to know anyone. Then, when I went to Australia, that's where the adventures really began. New Zealand. I had so much fun. I miss my wife, Fiona. She showed me that living life to the fullest, whether you're enjoying smoked meats, smoked cheeses, wines, beers, spirits, casinos, road trips, camping, hiking, fishing, you name it, you could do it, and then in the bush. Now let me tell you, when I came back, my sister had to drag me out from like 2002, 2003 till Aaron came around. And when Aaron came around, my sister was kind of happy I had someone, but at the same time, she was unhappy because we didn't do much. 2005 to 2006, I actually traveled down to Sandusky, met Aaron's dad, went to Cedar Point. 2008, 2 years later, phone call came in. I was asked specifically, Aaron's ID expired. Get his butt out there any way possible. We got on the train. No problem. We renewed his license. Guess what? I got him there. Dad said, get some sleep. We're going to have 2 funerals tomorrow. You know, because there's 2 different ones. There's one for saying goodbye in Cleveland and one for her Eastern Star Masons thing, or Masons. It might have been 3. Afterwards, we had dinner at 10 o'clock at night. We didn't get much sleep. We got maybe 4 or 5 hours, and we had to jump up 9 in the morning, have lunch, jump up again, and guess what? After that, the next morning, We went to the coffee shop. We had to be up early in the morning. When we got up at like noon, he said, let's go. You guys had your showers? Yes. We spent 10 plus hours in the car driving all the way to Kentucky, to Owensboro, for the funeral. Guess what? It was supposed to be 1 day for the funeral. Instead, I think it was like 3 there. So afterwards, we spent a week in Owensboro. I was told, stay close. You're a girl. They don't like rednecks there in that part of the woods. Hate transsexuals. So I followed his orders. But you know what? That was experiences I would never have going to Kentucky. Another experience, 2010, again, 2 years later. Aaron had some problems. He had to go back home. We got on a train, went back there. Every time, the last time we were going through, I got to see Glacier National Park with a frozen lake. Completely frozen. That's an experience that'll live in my heart forever. There outside of Whitefish. So before you sit there and say, oh, well, you know, think of it. You don't get experiences if you don't get out of the bedroom or the house or the apartment. Me and Aaron, we're going to break our barrier and do more things. Now, when it comes to girls, I'm done chasing them. Doesn't do me any good. You speak your mind, then someone tells me that I'm the problem. No. Long distance marriages don't work. Problem isn't me. Yeah, dating sites maybe, but you know what? Blame it on someone who's basement or bedroom dwelling hermit who wants to play video games and blocks everything out. Me, I don't block things out. Yeah, I might like to drink a little more than I should, but guess what? That's as far as I go. Aaron? He's right. Unless they get out, see the world, they're going to be old and bitter. Or not bitter, but old and alone eventually. Because her sisters will all get married eventually, and that'll be that. I mean, I'm too old-fashioned myself. I have my own ideas, but you know what? My ideas and my goals, they're mine. Something you can't take away. I've offered to meet up with them in Cedar Point or Disneyland. No answer. That's another thing. They don't give a straight answer. You know what? No straight answer, no trip. With that said, just remember, friendship is built on trust, honesty, loyalty, and love. Those are what makes the world go round. With that said, please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments in the box if you like. Please add me as a friend if you like. Please add suggestions and comments if you like. And I'm sorry, but this video had to be made. Peace, love, I'm out, shower time. Time to upload this. Good night.